Yeah, we just had a little conversation before we just said that. We've decided to call all of our listeners our Tramily because
you always have a name for your listeners in a podcast, I feel like. And you guys feel like Tramily. You've contacted us, asked us questions, given us comments and feedback, and you really do feel like family.
Yeah, the few of you that have left actual feedback, thank you. So we always welcome more and more feedback if you want to share.
Yes.
Welcome to our podcast, Yeti
Walks into Basecamp.
Talking
Through
Hiking. We are your hosts. I am Yeti Legs.
And I am Basecamp.
We're a married couple that through hikes, ultra runs, and we like to talk about hiking. So here's our podcast. Thank you for listening. We had a guy named Alex send us some treats that he made.
Oh my gosh. Alex, thank you so much. We're saving them. Yeah. BT dubs. Should we save them for the Colorado Trail? Will they even still be good by then?
No, we should not. We should save them for when we go out with Caleb.
When we backpack with them. Okay.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. They should still be fine.
We should just ask Alex for more.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. We've each tried at least one. We love them. We haven't died yet, so you're not trying to poison us. So thank you.
Yeah, it's super good. It's like this peanut butter crunch ball that he created, like a protein packed, sweet, but healthy.
Yeah, I just need like 50 more of them.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm gonna need like to down 20 of them in one day.
I know. He had a little bakery commission to make them for us and package them and send them.
And they're delicious.
They're quite good.
They're so good. They're honestly, I think they'd be perfect for like a 14er hike that people are doing. Like they're really good, just easy, packable snacks. Mm-hmm. But didn't he come up with a name that he put on the box?
If he did, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well we'll let you guys know if he actually decides to sell these for real. Because they are really good.
They are. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
We also got really good feedback from 2 hikers that we hiked with on the PCT in 22. One of them was actually a gal that we named. Her name is Azul. She's been on our podcast before for a short but super informative episode. She said that she really loves the way that our podcast sounds. And then we also had Magnet, who is the founder of Magnet Designs, who we're talking to about possibly being on our episode or on our show as well. And he was like, yeah, you're like one of my favorite hiking podcasts out there. I'm like, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It really meant a lot.
That's huge. So it's huge to hear stuff like that. And it's also really cool to see our little small but mighty team coming together, and they're helping us with social media and with editing our episodes. So it takes a village. Yeah?
It really does. And we've decided we have like a cult following.
It's true. It's true. And to that cult following, continue to listen to our podcast because we have these super awesome brands that are sponsoring us now. And whenever we mention them in our episodes, we will let you know what to do whenever you hear those mentions. But we're doing giveaways for these brands.
Some of them.
Yeah, for some of them. They're giving away little care packages, and we'll always be sure to let you know which brands are doing what and how you can win.
Dude, take advantage of this. It's free.
Yeah, what we've been noticing is that we've had plenty of people listening to our podcast, but no one really reaching out to try and win these giveaways. And we think it's because...
You think that it's already been done. Like someone's already reached out.
And if that's what you're thinking, you're probably thinking into it too much, because if you just shoot us an email, you're more than likely going to win it.
Yeah. I now I'm realizing when I listen to podcasts and people do that,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get it. Like so many people probably listen to this or have already signed up for it.
Yeah. So just stay tuned to our future episodes. There's not one in this episode, sorry. And be sure to try and win those little giveaway care packages because they're brands that we love and that we actually use ourselves whenever we go and hike.
Yeah. So this is a huge thing. If I were listening to a podcast, I'd be all over that.
Bingo. I think we should do Drink of the Choice and some updates and then get into our PCT week 22.
Let's do it.
PCT week 22 is going to be our road walk around the Lion's Head closure.
So many adventures.
So much junk happened in this week.
So much happened.
Yeah. Let's start with the drink of the choice. What are we doing?
So I don't... Oh, it's a Sam Adams. So we're both drinking an NA beer. It's a Sam Adams IPA and it's rather delightful.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm drinking a beer.
It's an NA IPA. And we're also drinking Spindrifts, those little slightly flavored waters.
Dude, they're so good.
They're pretty good. It's true. Cotton World updates.
I just got back from Singapore.
How was that?
It was a lot of things. I feel like anytime I come back from Asia, because Asia's like opposite of Western. It's Eastern. So there's a lot of different ways of life, I'd say. But the people were just incredible, super kind. I forgot that Asian people, this is very generalized, but specifically Chinese people in China were like this too, are very prompt and very like, they will be there. If you say 1:30, they're there at 1:29, like every time, never fails. And if you are not ready to go at 1:30, they start to get very impatient. Like this happens so many times.
And didn't you say they're also prone to just like pushing you out of the way?
Yes. So then I'm like in a line in a ferry trying to exit, and these people are pushing past me to get past me. And I'm like, dude, we're literally going to the same place. It's going to take you 20 seconds different than me. Like, why do you have to push me out of the way to try to get ahead of me? Like, this is so confusing.
Yeah.
But the people are very, very kind. They're very sweet people. They'll do anything for you. They're very hospitable, very, very thoughtful. Yeah, the food was incredible. They eat a lot of fried food, actually, in Singapore.
Kind of shocked by that.
Yeah, like it's a fusion. Singapore is a fusion of China, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. It's kind of like, and then Indian, actually. So a lot of people from India and the Middle East as refugees have settled in Singapore. And so you have this like mix of all these people groups coming together, and they're all very respectful of each other. They all get along. What a concept. And so
it is possible.
It is possible, you guys, on a tiny island. They even have microwaves for Muslims. That is their own microwave, because you cannot put certain meats in their microwaves. Like it's a religion thing. Like you can't cross-contaminate. Yeah. So they have like very respectful practices for all religions there, which is cool to see.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. But the food was incredible. And it was like a fusion of all these different Asian cultures, but like shockingly a lot of meat and a lot of fried food.
And rice.
A lot of rice. Best sushi I've ever had, hands down, ever. Like, I swear I had a foodgasm like multiple times when I was eating sushi.
We call it a mouthgasm.
Yeah. So it was incredible. It was like an 11-day adventure. I went to Indonesia after we were done filming, and I took a couple days on an island and really chilled. I went to a spa, and it was so cheap, you guys. I literally got 3 massages, and I got a hair treatment, all for maybe $100 total.
Yeah, you should all know that we are not wealthy by any means. So
I went to Singapore because it was a job. And then I stayed for a couple days in Indonesia because it's super cheap. Like I was staying at a like spa resort jacuzzi room looking out over the ocean for like total $300. That included breakfast, shuttle to the hotel. They booked my ferry. It was a ton of stuff added to it, all for $300 total. I was like, check, yes.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, that's where I am. And then I'm back out again, flying to Orlando this next week.
You just can't stay away from these tropical areas, can you?
Oh my God, I'm ready to be back in Colorado.
Where it's nice and cool.
Yes, I've missed the dryness. So Singapore's super humid. It's like 95% humidity on top of being an island by the equator. So I was sweating constantly. Meanwhile, you
sitting here at 9,600 feet in Breckenridge, and it's nice and crisp and cool. However, the places that I've been going for work lately, especially in Grand Junction, are really hot, and they're about 6,000 feet, maybe a little bit lower, depending on where you are.
Yeah, I know. You talked about it being super hot. Was it like in the hundreds in some places?
Low to mid 90s.
Jeez.
Yeah, but with the sun, it's a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
I don't really have any Cotton World updates. Kind of just working and doing the dream. And
yeah, it seems to be going well for you.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I just need to get a really nice camera lens so that I can take some more wildlife photos.
I gave Wesley a really nice camera for his graduation gift. Like I got his mom, my mom, aunts all involved giving money to help contribute to this really nice camera as his graduation gift. And now we need to get him a really nice lens.
It's part of the struggle.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, we haven't seen Loba for like almost 3 weeks now.
No, 2 weeks, because it'll be 3.
It'll be 3 weeks this coming weekend.
She's with Deuces, who watched her when we did the AZT.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where we could have had her these few days that we're seeing each other, but Deuces wanted to take her on a backpacking trip for like 4 days. And I was like, She'd be so much happier doing that than just sitting with us.
She definitely would be.
Because we're not doing a ton of like hiking these couple of days that we're together.
Because we'd be tired.
We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, this is the Cotton World update. We're going to do the Colorado Trail this year. And then we're going to go spend about 2 weeks and wrap up the last 160 or so miles of the Arizona Trail. Yeah. We're going to do some through hiking this year.
Yay.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, so that's kind of an update.
I know. I told Wesley, like, I am in need of a through hike.
Yeah, we're planning to start the Colorado Trail end of September, beginning of October, depending on when I can get off.
And we understand, guys, that it snows in Colorado in October.
Yeah.
But we do live 2 miles from the trail where it snows the most.
We welcome the snow.
So we're like, whatever. If it typically does not, if it does snow, it typically melts in October. So it doesn't accumulate too much yet.
When you start getting into November, then you're like...
Then it's accumulating. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably have a lot of hail in October. That'll be great.
I think we'll have snow. It's September that gets the hail.
We'll think we'll have snow and hail.
Yeah, probably. It's going to be interesting. Don't you love how we pick winter for our hikes?
I mean, I feel like our jobs are busiest in the summer, so...
It's true. We can't really do it unless we want to sacrifice some stuff.
Yeah. We're going to be like 40 in 3 years.
Speak for yourself.
I'll be 38 this year.
I know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, except for my body. It's like, what the heck are you doing to me? Yeah. I'm feeling some aches and some pains, and I'm sleeping a little bit later than normal.
Yep.
So yeah, those are our updates.
Yeah. I mean, it's been busy.
It's been a crazy summer.
I'm really looking forward to taking a little breather. Oh, my nephew's coming to visit us this upcoming Saturday, the 28th of June.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We're going to take him backpacking.
Might go do a 14er with him.
Yeah. Well, should we get into it?
I think what I would like to do first is talk about 2 14ers. You got 2 14ers on your chest right now because you got some boobas.
Oh.
And you know what backpack really accommodates people with boobies?
What are you saying? Are you saying my boobs are huge?
You got some nice 14ers right there.
They're not double D's.
Okay, so they're
like C's.
They're 13ers. How about that?
12s.
They're 12ers. We'll call them 12ers. You got 2 12ers right there.
Oh my God.
And there's a very specific backpacking company that makes backpacks specifically for people with boobs. Do you want to tell our Tramily about them?
So this backpack specifically, I'd say it is made for men and women. I will say I think it's geared more towards the female body because of the way it is designed.
Mm-hmm.
However, men can utilize this pack as well. It's very comfortable for them too, depending on your shoulder size. And so this backpack, Symbiosis Gear, has made one called the Aspen, and it is specifically geared towards like female shoulders. And then also to cater to the boobs or anything of substance there that, kind of blocks and rubs.
Like man boobs.
Like man boobs.
Some moobs.
I don't have moobs. I've got foobs.
That's true. You have female boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guys have moobs, and it's great to have a backpack that doesn't rub, doesn't feel like one side's teetering, or you can't seem to find the balance between both sides. I always have had a problem with that in backpacks. I can't seem to find the middle ground of a backpack. And I think Symbiosis Gear has found this beautiful just synergy of a backpack where it's lightweight, but it's enough to fit what you need for a through hike. And also it fits on your back perfectly. And the woman who designed it, she through hikes, and so she knows what we're looking for.
Yeah, she hiked the PCT and she realized there was a need and a niche that needed to be filled for female focused backpacks.
Yes, and amen.
Yes. So go check out episode 62 where we interviewed Sarah Berkeley, the founder of Symbiosis Gear. She talks all about her backpack, the Aspen, really what the need was, how she decided to fill that need, and what the future of Symbiosis Gear looks like, and the future of more female-oriented backpacks. And we do actually have a pretty generous discount code. Code. We have a pretty generous discount code for you. It's going to get you 15% off. I think it's just for the backpack.
Yeah.
But 15% off of the Aspen is really a substantial discount. Thank you, Sarah, for giving that to us and to our family here. The code to get 15% off of your backpacks or backpack, whichever you decide to purchase from Symbiosis Gear, is going to be Yeti15. YETI 15. And we'll have that discount code for you and a link to their website in the show notes below. So be sure to go and check them out. Thank you, Symbiosis and Sarah, for sponsoring this episode. All right, y'all. Here we are. PCT week 22. Just so you know, we're getting close to the end because we only have 26 weeks that we hike the PCT.
So we only have 4 more episodes?
Yeah. 4 more after this one.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's getting close, isn't it?
So sad. I feel like I'm reliving the PCT doing this because we've been doing it for so long.
I know.
And now I'm like, oh, it's almost over.
You're like, now we need to go hike some more for more material.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duh. So half of this week is going to be our road walk. We ended week 21 with a little bit of a slack pack, not even 15 miles from the trail down to the town of Sisters. This is all in Oregon. And from Sisters, we're going to make our little heat rash way to Frog Lake Trailhead.
114 miles of a road walk.
Yeah, which is over by Government Camp in Oregon. Boy, it was painful.
I'm the one who mapped this out too. Because we took a few days in Sisters before we started this whole shindig to rest. And as we were resting, I mapped out, okay, we can hit Sisters to Redmond to Madras.
Yeah.
Madras takes you there's a road that takes you from Madras all the way to Frog Lake Trailhead.
Yeah, but in between is Warm Springs.
In between is Warm Springs, but we figured, so in all of this, I was like, well, I think the way we're going to have to do this is we're just going to have to try to make it to towns.
Yeah.
And so these are like pretty heavy miles to make it into towns.
Yeah.
And we figured, well, it's road walking. We're not climbing.
We're hiking 2 hotels.
2 hotels,
and
2
restaurants,
food, and air conditioning. And so we were our first leg, we already did the beginning to Sisters. We had to get back to Sisters. It was 14 miles that we had to finish from the trail because we have to connect our footpath. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to start in Sisters. We got to start from the trail and hike 14 miles to Sisters to make that make sense.
Yeah.
Then from Sisters, we get to Redmond. Then from Redmond, we get to Madras. But then in Madras, because it's such a huge stretch between Madras to Frog Lake Trailhead, we decided, why don't we just stay 2 nights in Madras? And because we were like, we don't know where we're going to camp because there's an Indian reservation smack in the middle there. So we were like, why don't we just hitch back halfway and then get a hitch back the next morning and finish out into Frog Lake. So 114 miles in 5 days is what we were gunning for.
And we've already done about 15 of it.
Yeah.
So this day is going to be from Sisters, Oregon to Redmond, Oregon. And this is just under a 21-mile road walk this day.
Wow, it felt like so much more than 21 miles.
I know. And just to give you an idea of what these roads look like, I didn't write down the highway numbers. It's just the roads that connect you from town to town. But the shoulders are almost non-existent on these roads. You have about 3 feet between the little yellow line marking the end of the lane and like ditch drop-offs. And
also, it's completely exposed. There is no tree coverage anywhere.
Not really, no.
And it is fucking hot.
It's terrible,
This
y'all.
is August in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And if August here is the hottest month we have, imagine it in Oregon.
Yeah.
It's like over 100 degrees every day.
Yeah, and the sun and the heat is just like radiating off of the asphalt because the asphalt's black, right? So it just absorbs all of the heat and it just radiates back off.
It was so painful.
It was painful. But we had high-vis vests, so no one
Oh my gosh,
could
you
hit
guys.
us, right?
So Wesley decides, he's like, I think we need like high-vis vests so people can see us on the road, which I agree. It was very smart. I did make fun of him for it, though.
She totally did.
But I was like, no, safety first. You're right. We should. And so we did wear these high vis vests. And that first day of the road walk, I'm going to call it the first day of the road walk, technically.
It is.
Yeah. Even though, because it's when we started and left Sisters and we were on our way. But this first day, we hit mile 2000 in our world.
Yeah.
We would have hit it if we'd been on trail during that time too.
So I just took a picture of the road and like drew with a pen like 2000 on it. And I also want to note this too. We're not carrying our entire load on our back. This woman who was shuttling hikers up to Frog Lake trailhead had agreed to hold our camping equipment for us and all of our cookware because we didn't need it for this.
No, so we figured let's go as light as we can and go as fast as we can.
And of course, she charged us.
Yeah, well, and for those who have not heard our previous episode, I mean, I would go back and listen to it, but I do want to give some context. So there was a part of the trail called Lion's Head, and it was only like 18 or 20 miles that had been closed because of a fire.
But it was a hard spot to access after that 18.
But it was a very difficult part to access before and after. Yes. So it was like really 100-mile stretch that you're kind of putting yourself, like you can't really get someone to drop you off there or pick you up after. Like it's a whole thing. So most people were just hitting the 2,000-mile mark, and then they were getting like picked up at a road. Yeah. And then they were skipping ahead 175 miles to Frog Lake. Yeah. Something like that. I could be wrong about that, but it's somewhere in the 100.
It depends on where they were getting shuttled to and from.
Right. But there was a lot of shuttles coming in and out, and they were charging hikers a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Do what you're going to do, but they are not trail angels if they are charging you for shuttling.
No.
They're profiteering.
They are profiteering. And this one was charging $150 for one way.
Yeah.
Per shuttle. Mm-hmm. So the more hikers you can find, the better.
Which you do you, boo, but
yeah, you do you, boo. But she did
thanks
charge
for holding
us.
Our gear.
Yeah, but she did charge us for holding the gear, which is fine.
It was like $25-$50 or something.
I really don't remember.
It wasn't anything crazy, but I'm like, really? You're already going that way? You just like give it to us on one of the rides, right? But anyways, so yes, we had commissioned this sweet woman who was charging everybody for the shuttling to hold our gear so she could get it back to us. And at the same time for this road walk, we had mentioned in the last episode about this couple, Joanne and John. So Joanne and John, we had been put in contact with from Ron and Mary Lynn, the couple that we met at Crater Lake. So Ron and Mary Lynn put us in contact with Joanne and John. Joanne and John are from Bend, so they drove all the way over to the Sisters area and beyond to leave water caches for us.
That was the sweetest thing.
So not only did they take us back to the PCT so that we could slack pack to the town of Sisters for the last day of week 21, but for basically the entire time we were road walking on this stretch, they left us water caches. So they would drive out each day to leave new water caches so that the water wasn't just sitting in the sun and, you know, all the plastics leaching into the water from the heat and the UV exposure.
And we had no water. There was nowhere to get water on this stretch.
Yeah.
Like it's completely just an open exposed road.
Yeah.
For 20 plus miles per day. And so they were so kind to leave us water bottles to refill. And didn't we pack out the water bottles? I think we did. Or maybe she said to leave them and they'd pick them back up. I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I know. We were exhausted from heat.
Oh my gosh. So then that day, it was so hot. And we started to get really bad heat rash.
If you don't know what heat rash is, just look it up. But it's literally just a red rash caused by a lot of heat exposure and sweating.
It's so bad. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And I just remember as we were about to go get into the town of Redmond, we're finally getting close. We're probably a couple miles out. I just remember thinking, I'm so hot. Like I'm just burning up. And I need cold water or something. I need shade.
Yeah.
And then we finally got to this like little strip mall where there was a Starbucks. And then
we went into the Starbucks.
But this guy pulled over at that same time.
Uh-huh.
And he gets out of his car And he comes up to us. He's like, hey, are you guys hiking the PCT?
And we're like, yeah, we're just trying to get around the Lion's Head closure. He's like, really? Well, I'll hike the PCT in year X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. And he gives us like $20 or something.
Yeah.
He's like, go buy yourself a cold beer.
I'm like, well, thank you. We'll actually take some cold Starbucks.
Yeah. And he was just like, listen, doing a road walk like this is a lot. So go get yourself something cold.
Honestly, yeah. And I mean, the heat rash on our legs was definitely obvious. You could not see it.
It was so bad.
I do recall whenever we got to Redmond, after the guy gave us the $20, thanks again, and Starbucks, we walked the rest of the way to our hotel, which is, it was just kind of a ratty little motel.
Was that the Oyo?
Was it the Oyo?
That was the Oyo.
Okay, so it was the ratty little Oyo.
Oyo.
Yeah.
Because we were spending money at a few hotels. So it's like, okay, we can only do like $50 a night or $40 a night.
Yeah, we gotta like be thrifty here.
Yeah.
I recall we found a brewery that we wanted to go to, but we couldn't drive there because we didn't have a car.
And we didn't want to walk because of the heat rash. It was painful.
So we got an Uber, and our Uber driver was this young guy with like long hair, and he picks us up. And he starts talking to us. We start talking to him. And by the time we get to the brewery, we're like basically best friends. And so he comes into the brewery and has a beer and sits with us.
Yeah. And so we just talk to him, shoot the shit. And oh man, I just remember at that brewery, babe, I just remember getting my first cold beer. And I was like, oh, this is the best feeling.
You just died.
Ever.
Yeah. You died on the inside.
I just died and went to heaven in the inside. I was like, this is incredible. Oh, that ice cold beer, the carbs, the coldness.
The carbonation.
Just the carbonation, yeah. All of it just felt like such a reward from such a hot day.
It is a huge reward. But turns out the Uber driver was also...
a massage therapist?
He gave massages. He was a traveling masseuse. So we got his contact information and we're like, hey, if we need you, we'll reach out. Of course, we'll pay you, but... also, we'll try and promote you if we have the opportunity, which was super interesting. If you ever had a beer with your Uber driver, we would love to know.
Yeah, because that was funny for us. And the food was really good there, too, I remember. Is this also the place where we got pizza? We got it at the Oyo.
We took food and beer back to our hotel, yeah. Because I remember getting some Rogue Dead guy and taking it back.
Yes, we got chicken wings and we got pizza.
Yes, that.
And then we took a 6-pack back to the hotel and we sat there and we watched TV and gorged ourselves on pizza and wings.
Yeah, and showered to try and clean off all of our heat rash.
Yeah.
Which really just persisted for days and days and days.
Well, and in the heat rash, it was like this weird searing pain, but it wasn't bad yet. It was this weird feeling of like you can feel like it feels like your skin is burning. Is what it feels.
Burning.
It feels like it's burning.
I'm a witch.
Burn her.
Yeah.
But it didn't hurt yet. It was there, and I could feel it in the back of my legs. That's where mine was the back of my legs.
It's funny. Really big side tangent. You only ever hear about witches being females, not men.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Well, that was super sexist back in the Salem witch trial days.
Yes, they did that on purpose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's work on some more equity here, folks.
It was a patriarchy, misogynistic approach to life. They were scared of their women, so they'd make them witches and kill them.
So you make them float or you burn them?
Pretty much. Yeah, it was all
God.
women. Yeah, it was I know. Poor women.
Oh, she has a pet. She has a pet cat? That must be your familiar.
She must be a witch.
She must be a witch.
Or, she rejected me. I'm going to go tell the council that she's a witch.
She's pregnant, but she doesn't have a husband. It must be the child of Satan. God. What type of bullshit shenaniganery has happened in our history?
And it's Christians, too. That was Christians who did it.
Boy.
The head of the church people are the ones who killed the women.
And lo and behold, our current day and time.
Why do Christians got to do this?
Why you got to be so cray?
Like, don't make Jesus look bad, y'all.
Like, Jesus wasn't white, and he sure wasn't a bigot.
And he also loved women.
Right?
Yeah.
He even grew his hair out long, according to all the white Jesus pictures. Right? That was his homage to females.
I mean, I'm sure he had long hair because I think maybe they all had long hair. I don't know.
Look, it's a natural protection from the sun.
Yeah.
Long hair.
I think Jesus would have been a thru hiker.
And a hippie.
A hippie through hiker.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely. God.
Anyway, that is a good tangent.
Yep. Snap back to the PCT. We're in Redmond. We stayed at the Oyo. And the next day, we're checking out of the Oyo. We're hiking to this town called Madras. This is a big day of hiking.
It was really big.
We ended up doing almost 29 miles this day.
In the heat.
But we only gained 600 feet, right? Which is, that's kind of cute.
We had a lot of exciting things happen this day.
This day in particular.
It's like we lived 3 days of hiking in one day.
On the way to Madras from Redmond, there's this little town called Terrebonne.
Terrebonne.
That. I do recall stopping at a post office to dump off more weight. And by that, I mean gear that we just weren't really using.
I don't even remember what it was.
It was probably like a pair of socks or something. But look, when you're out there, you're hiking for 10 hours a day. You're like, wow, what can I get rid of from my pack to make this a little bit lighter?
It's true. How do I shave even a little bit? Even an ounce or two.
Yeah.
Can make a difference.
Like, can I shave ounces by cutting extra length off of my straps on my backpack?
Didn't you cut your toothbrush for the CT?
I sure did. I cut it in half. Hell yeah, I did.
I mean, you shaved probably an ounce.
You don't need all that toothbrush handle.
You're right.
You don't.
Ooh, by the way, another side tangent. I brought back so many toothbrushes from Singapore. So in every hotel, they give you toothbrushes and they're made out of bamboo.
That's pretty nice.
And they're super lightweight. So that's what we're taking through hiking now. You're welcome.
Yeah. Stop purchasing big plastic, y'all. Especially single-use plastics.
Oh, boy.
Not good stuff.
Then I think one of my favorite things from this entire road hike was we ran into this state viewpoint. Peter Skeen
Ogden State Scenic Viewpoint.
With this huge bridge. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful there. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we hear a marmot. I'm like, oh my God, there's a marmot somewhere. And all of a sudden I'm looking and I see it and it's just wedged in this canyon.
It's on the side of the canyon wall.
And it's just making noise, just hanging out.
I'm like, bro, you are not afraid of heights, are you?
All by itself. All by itself. I was like, how did this marmot get here? Must have had a journey.
I'm like, bro, you're a long way from the mountains.
We're literally by a highway. Like
the mountains are hundreds of miles away.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is that the trail goes through the mountains. And we're super bummed that we missed that section and we want to go back and do that section so we can experience it. But it's also a burn zone. But what we did was more the desert area of Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the east side of Oregon is where we were on the road. And also what we mentioned earlier, when them caravanning all these hikers through, this is the road they were taking. Yeah. To caravan all the hikers through. So we'd sometimes get these honks from cars.
Just full of through hikers, bunch of clowns in there.
And everybody cheer as they drove by and were walking and suffering in the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, Terrebonne, you have this weird, cool scenic viewpoint with a giant bridge and a marmot. And then a few miles later, there was a winery right off the main.
It's called Maragas Winery. Maragas.
And I had to talk you into going here.
It's only because, you guys, when I am through hiking,
how often
I get focused. I get laser focused on we need to make our days.
How often is there a winery 200 feet off trail?
You're right. And I do not regret that decision at all.
Good.
It just helps remind me that when we're in the middle of this in the future, we should go do the side quest or the fun thing, because we'll regret it if we don't. We're not even regret it, but I remember this. This is a memory now. Whereas I won't remember the road walk.
No, you won't. You'll just remember finishing the trail before it caught on fire.
Exactly. So, no, that was a cool winery.
We went in there and we did not have reds because it was hot as shit outside. We had whites. Don't worry.
It was really nice, too, to get out of the heat.
And it was just us in there and the sweet lady behind the bar.
You guys imagine, we did 29 miles and did all of this stuff in one day. We still have stuff that's happened. We're just getting started. So we go to Maragas Winery.
We're there for an hour. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. And then we are starting to get into the town. No, this was okay. So Joanne letting us have lunch in her car was before all of this other stuff that happened.
Oh, so Joanne hooked us up after we left the winery.
Yes.
So what that means is she drove out this day. This is the last day that we would see Joanne. She's been leaving these little water caches for us. And she drove out so that we could get some more water and that we could sit in her air-conditioned car and have lunch.
It was so sweet.
And so we just sat there for like 30 minutes and just had lunch in her car while she just like chatted with us. And yeah, loved on us a little bit. And come to find out, she was a pastor, and she didn't want to tell us until she was like done helping us out because she didn't want it to influence our opinion of her. And
I loved that about her.
Right?
Like her first thought isn't, oh, by the way, I'm a pastor, and now look at all these things I'm going to do to love you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, it wasn't love with an agenda.
No, it wasn't.
It was just love to be loved.
Love to be loved. That was pretty great, wasn't it?
It was, because she was like, I didn't know if I should tell you guys this, but I'm actually a pastor, and I think it was of a Methodist church. But go Joanne.
Go Joanne. We need to see her again.
I know. If we go back to Oregon, if we go and see Glenn in Bend, we should let Joanne and John know that
Glenn would love Joanne and John.
Oh my gosh, Glenn would.
Here's a connect, y'all.
Oh, we totally need to introduce them.
When we say Glenn, we're talking about Glenn Van Pesky, only the founder of Gossamer Gear. We're close friends. We'll brag.
We're close friends. No, we're not close friends. But he has invited us to his house.
Which is huge, and we're super excited to have received that invitation.
Yes, and we want to get to know him and his wife more.
Yeah, and they apparently bake a lot, which is really...
They have like a pizza oven out in their yard.
Yeah.
They do wineries and breweries. They're foodies.
I know.
The whole thing. But Joanne, we said goodbye to Joanne, and wow, what a gift that was to have her one more time. Just giving us air conditioning.
I know, but as soon as you got out of the air-conditioned car, it's like you're hit with a heat wave.
And again, you guys, we've got this heat rash going on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like just searing hot, this heat rash.
Uh-huh.
But so we get out of the car with her. We keep hiking. And then finally, we're getting close to the town.
Heat rash is like at an all-time high. Like it's spreading up the shins and like on the knees now.
So bad. It's just
on the feet.
It's so bad. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's spreading like wildfire.
And we're finally getting close to town. And then we get this message on Instagram. I think we had checked our phones as we took a break for a minute. And all of a sudden we see this message from these random people we don't know. And they're like, hey, we're hiking the PCT right now. And we just passed you on a shuttle. And we saw you guys road walking. We think this is you guys. We hope it is. But we left you $10.
$10 under the washer fluid at a Love's gas station just outside of Madras.
You can't miss it. It's right off the road that you're walking.
And they sent a picture, yeah.
Yeah, and they sent a picture. We were like, what in the world?
So we're like, well, this is super cool. So we're super motivated to get into Madras to this Love's gas station now. And we can almost see the gas station. I think we can see the sign like way in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
But we're starting to hit like this residential area right off the highway, which is super unfortunate for those folks. But, you know, it's where they live. And we're crossing this one house. We're on the sidewalk. Like it's a designated pedestrian sidewalk. And we're walking across this one house. And this gal had her dog in the fenced-in yard, but the fence is only like 2 feet tall. It's like a 2-foot tall white picket fence, and it's a pit bull, and it jumps over the freaking fence.
It was a Rottweiler pit bull. It was a mix.
That's what it was. It was a Rottweiler pit bull.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
It jumped over the fence.
And it's like charging us.
It's charging Wesley because I'm in front of Wesley, but he's coming at Wesley.
And so there's the pit mix, and then there's the highway with a bunch of 18-wheelers like
going fast
on it. So the pit bull is charging me, and I stand there and I stick my trekking poles out, and I'm like, come at me, bro.
You literally were like, no.
I think I've always done that with every animal encounter. I either
put a cross of the poles up.
Yeah, I either like face it head on, or I'm talking to it, trying to coax it not to attack us.
Yeah. And it didn't. I think once you put the trekking poles up, it for some reason freaked it out.
No, and it did freak it out whenever I guess I got larger, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But then I took a step towards it, and it backed up.
That's what freaked it out.
And when it backed up, it almost backed onto the highway.
Yeah.
And got hit by a big rig.
Yeah.
And that's when the owner ran out, and she's like, no.
And it wasn't to us, though. It was to the dog. She was like, come here.
Yeah.
You could tell she was freaked out. And I think she apologized to us. She's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And We were like, no, it's okay.
I'm like, that could have been the end of Fido.
Oh my God. I'm glad he didn't get ran over. That would have been quite traumatic to see.
Yeah, and that would have been a messy little brawl we had.
Oh God. Yeah. So I'm so glad you didn't get bit.
Me too. Maybe rethink the height of your fence if you're going to be a dog owner.
Yes.
Yeah. Or at least have an e-collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
We love
perimeter
e-collars.
for your dog.
Electric invisible fence. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being so close to a highway.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But you know what else I remember we started to do? I think we started this the first day because we were seeing so many 18-wheelers and they're like coming at us 60 miles an hour, 65.
Yeah.
And you can just see them. So you're bracing for impact. And I think I'm the one who said, you know what we should start doing? Because I used to do this game when I was a kid on road trips where I'd pump my arm to see if an 18-wheeler would do the honk back. And so I was like, babe, you know what would make this so much easier is if we started to do that when they got closer. Because first of all, then they'll see us better and it'll be a game.
Yeah. And what we realized is that probably like 95% of the big rigs would honk at us.
They always honk back.
Except for the tankers.
The tankers, the gasoline tankers would not honk back for some reason.
I think it's like a safety protocol, probably.
That makes sense. Maybe they can't take two hands off the wheel or something.
Do you remember when we got into the Love's gas station, found the $10?
Oh, it was so exciting. Then we went inside.
And we just bought a bunch of drinks.
Yes.
Like milk and Gatorade.
Liquids galore.
Yeah, I think there was an Arby's or some type of chain restaurant inside of the Love's.
Yes, and did I get ice cream? I got ice cream, I think. I was like, I'm getting ice cream.
You love your sweets.
I do and don't. Is this the funny thing? I don't crave sweets when I'm not through hiking. But when I'm through hiking, I crave sweets. And I think it's just because you need so much more sugar when you're out there. Like you actually need it because your body needs to replenish.
It does. And you can do it. You can eat it and your body is burning it off like that.
So I'm going to get ice cream.
Good for you.
And I did. And it was also really hot out there. I deserved ice cream.
The bad thing about these towns is like whenever we get there, we go to say a Starbucks or we go to the Love's gas station. We're still not at the hotel. So we got to keep hiking.
Yes, that is the hard part because then we got to go back out in the hot world.
Hot world. But we checked into our motel. This is not a hotel. This is a motel.
It was a full-on motel. And it was, okay. It was ran by
the sweet woman with a young child.
Yes. And they were from India.
Yeah.
Full stop from India.
Full send.
Full send. And we go to our room and I was like, is there bugs in here? Like it was just so bad.
It was rough. It was
a rough one.
But it was cheap.
We
had it for 2 nights.
And we had a shower.
And this was kind of funny. Yeah, shower and AC. But in order to communicate with the sweet woman running it, you had to go to the office and knock on the door because she always had it locked for safety reasons, which is unfortunate. Do you remember that?
Yes, but now I'm thinking about the AZT2 and that woman who was from India as well.
She also would always have her door locked.
This is a thing.
I don't know if it's more personal choice or if it's because they've experienced issues.
Well, India probably is not very safe. And so I would imagine I would already just do that then.
Yeah, it's like places where you grow up and you don't lock your doors because it's so safe and then you move somewhere else. Yeah. Same premise. But we had to go and knock on the door and her kid would usually run up. He was like 2 or 3, could barely even spit out cackles and laughs. But he could walk, damn it.
That's right.
It's a through hiker in him right there. But that was our cute hotel. I say cute. It was
pretty bad.
It was serviceable.
It was. I definitely thought there were bed bugs because it was bad.
I did the bed bug check. I used to be a health inspector. So
you did.
I did check it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the next morning as we're leaving? So again, we're in Madras. We have it for 2 nights. We're planning to hike out this next day, get a hitch back into Madras, sleep at the hotel one more night, get a hitch back somehow or an Uber back to where we stopped, and then continue on and hopefully get to government camp.
Yeah. And the whole idea was that from Madras to Frog Lake Trailhead is like 45 miles, I think, or 47. It's like somewhere in that range.
It's like 24-hour challenge distance.
It's kind of like that. And so we were thinking, okay, we'll split it into 20s. So we do like a 23 and a 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we start out, we decided to go to McDonald's for breakfast because it was right there.
And that's how you fuel a good long day of hiking.
Oh, breakfast. We got everything. We got pancakes. We got sausage biscuit. We got hash browns. We got orange juice. We got so much food at McDonald's. It was amazing.
And this white
do you remember,
guy,
I was going to say.
this old white guy comes over to us.
He's like, oh, are you guys on a date?
At McDonald's at 7 o'clock in the morning with our matching shirts.
He's like, wow, look at you guys.
Is it because we're wearing matching shirts right now? Is that what's happening?
What the fuck?
And he's like, oh, crap, what did he say?
I don't even know. He said something about taking his wife out. And
yeah, he's like, you could at least take her out for some prime rib or something.
Like, gosh, why McDonald's? And I looked at him and I was like, because it's cheap.
I'm like, prime rib. That's funny. But anyways, he chatted with us for like 2 minutes and then he left. And then 2 more people came and joined us.
Okay, we have not mentioned these people at all, sadly.
We met them way back at Shelter Cove, right before we did our 24-hour challenge.
Their name is Alaska.
Alaska's the girl.
And Lost Boy.
Lost Boy's the boy, obviously.
Yes. So we met them at Shelter Cove, and this was a debacle between everyone at this point because no one can figure out what to do. Do you go through Lion's Head? Do you skip up? And then we were the ones who were like, well, we might do a road walk because somebody had mentioned a road walk. And I'm like, maybe we do the road walk. So Alaska and Lost Boy somehow ended up in that conversation with us. And they were like, we might do the road walk too.
Yeah. And we had missed them from our 3 days we spent in Sisters.
Yeah, we don't know where they were.
But they just showed up at the McDonald's in Madras.
All of a sudden, they're there.
There they are.
And they were like, yeah, you guys, we actually did the road walk just like you mentioned.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
They were doing it because I gave them our route and they totally were doing it. And having the best time, apparently.
Oh my God. They're like freaking kids out there.
It
was
like,
so
you
funny.
Guys, there's so much trash on the side of the road. Like if you look down like the little dip, like there's just random trash everywhere. And they were finding all these little nuggets of trash and they were playing with them.
Speaking of trash, is this the day I found the hat?
Yes, I think so.
Oh yes, the hat.
We were walking by, it was a farm and people were picking.
And guess what? Everyone working on the farm was Hispanic. These are not bad people. These are not criminals to exercise from our country. They're just working and trying to earn a living.
And telling us hello as we were walking by.
So yes, these sweet Hispanic guys, there were all guys out there toiling away in the 100-degree Oregon sun for your produce, were just saying hi to us and just kind of waving and being sweet. And they asked us if we needed any water and we were okay.
Yeah, they were so nice. And let's just say, can you imagine a white person trying to go out there and pick strawberries?
I mean, I would do it.
For $5?
Not for $5, no.
For 10?
No.
How much then?
For some good thorough strawberry picking, I would charge $20.
$20. See?
$20 an hour and all the strawberries I can eat.
And all the strawberries would go up then.
Yeah.
All of our fruit would go up.
I don't actually know if it was strawberries, but...
No, but it was some sort of vegetable or fruit that they were picking.
It's true. Probably 100 feet past them, there was this beautiful, glimmering, singing a beautiful angelic song to me hat on the side of the road.
It was a massive straw hat. It was hilarious.
Like, we're talking a foot off the base of the head all the way around.
It looked like a Chinese hat. And I mean that in all sincerity. In China, they make these hats and they're like made out of a basket.
Yeah.
And they're pointy.
Yeah.
And it looked just like a Chinese hat.
Yeah.
And you took it. You're like, well, I think I'm going to take this and use it because it's so hot out here.
And so I took it. It had a hole in it. It looked like maybe a little cat had punched a hole in it.
It was a little janky.
It was a little janky, but it got the job done. I just had to strategically position the hole so that it didn't.
Well, what was funny is you started looking after I think Lost Boy in Alaska were saying how there was all these old treasures.
Oh, I started looking in the ditches.
You started looking in the ditches and that's where you found the hat. And then you found other things too, like
little stupid trinkets.
Yes, like coins and
something like that.
He'd stop and go, oh my gosh, look at this. And he'd pull out something and I'm like, what the?
I found a little dinosaur statue.
Yeah.
That was a fun one to find, right?
Yes. But of course we didn't take it.
No, of course we didn't. We actually Did we catch up with them or did they catch up with us? Because we didn't all leave hiking together, I don't think.
I think we caught up with them because they were just being like, they were like Kappa and Jedi to me, except in a male-female form. But like they were doing and just having fun. So when we catch up to them, we're all hiking together.
We're doing the hiking or the honking thing.
The honking thing because I told them about it. Yeah. So now we're all honking in the big rigs. And every time the big rig would honk back, we'd all be like, yeah.
And then all four of us got to like a really substantial trash pile.
It was
on the side of the road.
Like, we don't know if that's where people just threw their trash.
Like at this point, we're hallucinating from the heat and we're playing with trash on the side.
It's like we've only done though by this point 10 miles maybe or 8 or 9, I don't know. Yeah. We haven't done a significant amount yet.
We didn't do a huge mileage day today.
We didn't, and we'll explain why in a bit. But yeah, we get to this trash pile and Lost Boy in Alaska pull out an umbrella.
Yeah, there was an umbrella in the stroller.
And a baby stroller.
Yes, there was an umbrella inside of a baby stroller. And I'm pretty sure that it was Lost Boy who got in the stroller.
Yes, and Alaska pushed him. And I took a video of it.
And they held the umbrella up. And we have a video of this. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should put that video on Patreon.
I think all of these things need to go on Patreon. Like we'll put as many of this entire road walk as we can. We documented a lot of it.
Yeah, be sure to check out our Patreon. It's pretty much free and you can have access to all these pictures. We just don't dump it all on social media anymore because we kind of like the little inclusivity of our little Patreon followers.
Our little family.
Yes, but we have this video.
It's hilarious. And Alaska's pushing Lost Boy in a baby stroller with an umbrella.
It was something to see for sure.
It was so random.
And then they squirreled.
They squirreled because they saw
a random sign for ice cream. Like something.
Yes. And Alaska goes, I want to go. And Lost Boy's like, okay. And they were like, do you guys want to come? And we were like, nah, we think we're going to keep, putting some miles in. And we continue on. And it's hot as fuck.
And we go to get beer at this little gas station. And at this point, I think we are in the Warm Springs boundary because the gas station is owned. I don't know if it's owned, but it's at least run by Native Americans. They've got a very distinctive face structure, so you can kind of pick them out usually. And they're as sweet as they could be. And they're just hanging out, having a conversation. They rang us in and it was fine.
Yeah.
It really sucks a lot of times when different races are kind of demonized for unfortunate reasons. And so we just went in with a very clear mindset, very open way of approaching this reservation. And we were, I guess, basically given nothing but kindness from these folks.
Yeah.
So we get beers from that gas station, go and drink them next to the Deschutes River, which is super cool.
Well, and there's a reason, though, why we decided to take a break.
Because it's hot as fuck.
No, my heat rash was sizzling.
Because it's hot as fuck.
It felt like I could hear my heat rash screaming.
Like bacon on a griddle?
Yes, like it was being burned. Like my skin was literally burning on a griddle.
Like the popping from your mouth whenever you talk?
No, it wasn't a popping. It was more like a sound of like.
That's painful. Stop. Yeah, it was
hurting.
It was painful heat rash. I think we reached 100, 104 this day.
It was 114.
114. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so hot outside. I think it was the hottest day we had.
It's funny that you said 114 because we hiked 14.14 miles this day.
And then we hiked 114 on the road.
There you go.
There's something about 114. We should look that up.
There's something about 14. 7 plus 7 is 14, and 7's the lucky number and the holy number, right?
Yeah.
But what is
14 supposed to represent perfection then, because 7 and 7, I think, because 7's holy, and the 14 completes it all. I could be wrong about that. That's just my thought.
What does the number 14 represent?
He's asking Google.
The number 14 can represent different things depending on the context. In numerology, it signifies freedom, self-determination, curiosity, wit, and conscientiousness. It can also symbolize new beginnings, balance, and harmony. In the Bible, 14 is often associated with the concept of new creation, double anointing, and deliverance.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
There you go.
I do remember that the reason we stopped to get beers is because my heat rash was hurting. Like this was the most it hurt the entire hike for me.
Was it?
I was like crying. It hurt so bad.
Mm.
It was just burning.
I don't remember you crying.
I might have shed one tear.
And tear?
And tear.
Amongst all the sweat.
Yeah. But like it was burning, literally. Like I felt like my skin was just peeling off, kind of burning.
Are you embellishing a little bit?
No,
here?
I'm not. That's how it felt. It was so painful. And so I just remember being like, hey, I think I need to take a break.
And we did.
And we did by the Deschutes River with our beer.
And then we went to
the diner.
Yeah, the diner, which is maybe a half mile down the road.
Yeah. We decided we needed some air conditioning and to cool off.
It was called the Eagle Crossing Restaurant, which is basically a diner. And it was just outside of Warm Springs. And we get in there, and the only guy running the whole show is this Native American guy. We didn't catch his name.
In his 50s, I think.
In his 50s. We didn't catch his name. We didn't ask.
He's very tall.
He was very tall.
Very big guy.
And he was very, like, the word is brusque.
He was kind of cold to us when we first got there. He's like, you can find a seat anywhere. Like he
was like, what do you want to eat?
What do you want? Yeah.
And it's funny too, because I remember there was a family in there. They were
white.
They were, of course, white, male, female, 2 kids, the quintessential white family, right? And they seemed a little taken aback by this guy.
They seemed a little intimidated by him.
But I think we saw it as a challenge to soften him up a little bit.
We did.
And so we kept talking to him.
Asking him questions.
And didn't he sit down with us and talk to us for a bit?
He did. He started, and then he offered us some beers for free.
I remember that.
Yeah, we became good friends with him that day.
Yeah, just treat people like human beings and talk to them and ask them questions.
We were asking him a lot of stuff. Like he had a life before he owned this restaurant. I remember, like, he'd explored a lot and seen a lot, and he had decided to go back to the reservation that he grew up in. Mm-hmm. And he had a lot to say about reservations, though, and Native Americans and kind of what's happened.
Do you remember what he said?
No, I don't. I wish I'd recorded him just so I could like go back and meditate on it. What I took in, my interpretation and what my body took in from that memory was that he was very passionate about the Native Americans having the land that they deserve, and that they were given pieces of land that were shit.
That's kind of how it's been.
Yeah. And he kind of opened up a world for me of just talking to someone who's living it. And he talked about how the casinos and the liquor and the alcoholism in Native American culture, and how it's kind of capped their culture. Like it's almost a way of keeping Native Americans under.
Yeah.
And yes, they're doing that and choosing that. But he was like, do you notice when you go to a reservation, you'll find casinos?
It's true.
And it is one of the ways that they make money, but it's also a way to keep them all there.
Yeah.
And like close-minded. And he had a lot to say about that.
He was a really nice guy.
He was so kind. By the end, super warm, friendly, gave us a hug.
Yeah. And I do want to spell out the Indian tribes that Warm Springs was allocated to. So it's the land of the WACO, the Waco is what I'll say, the Tenino, and the Paiute from that area. And the Tenino seemed to specifically be from that Warm Springs location. So yeah, that's their land. And there's a bunch of old white people going to a casino on an Indian reservation. But the gas prices were cheap. I remember that much.
Because they don't pay U.S. federal taxes.
Oh, there you go.
That's why it's so cheap there. It's because it's like it is their land, so they don't have to pay federal taxes on it. Mm. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It was a whole thing. And the reason we know about this gas price is because, so we leave this sweet man's restaurant. He was the owner, yeah?
He was the owner of it, yeah.
He was the owner. We leave his restaurant, not the restaurant. We leave his. And we get to the town of Warm Springs maybe a mile later, and we are just dragging and still cooking.
And man, my skin is sizzling.
So we're at like mile 14 for the day. Not really big achievers right now.
Hurting. We're both hurting. I remember you were saying you were hurting too. Like the heat rash was just screaming at us.
It's like searing pain whenever you don't give it a chance to heal. This guy in a van pulls up. so he's like, so imagine we're walking through this town of Warm Springs. This not even really a town. This area of Warm Springs, this big casino.
It's literally a casino and a gas station.
And some gas stations.
Yeah.
So we're walking through this, and this guy in a van drives by us the opposite direction that we're walking. And he pulls into a lot, which is kind of like a little park right next to us, because he turned around and he pulled in right next to us. He was like, do you guys need a ride? It's pretty hot out here. And he was one of the guys shuttling hikers to and from the Frog Lake area.
And he said he had seen us through his whole time walking and shuttling. And he goes, I imagine you got to be really hot. Do you want some water? And we were like, you know what? Actually, we think we're done for the day.
Like, we would love
Can
a
you
ride.
take us back to the hotel?
And he's like, I'm actually going back to through Madras anyway. So yeah, happy to take you in. So sweet guy picks us up. He gets gas whenever we're driving back. And he's like, I always get gas at the reservation because it's so much cheaper. And so that's how we know about the cheaper gas prices.
Yeah. And he never charged us.
He never charged us for that ride back because he's already going that way anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. And he even said, I typically do Trail Angel, but because so many hikers are wanting to be shuttled, I am charging for gas is what he told us. But he was like, but you guys don't worry about it. Like, I can see that you've worked really hard.
Yes. And so that is what a Trail Angel does.
That's what a Trail Angel does.
So thanks, man.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
I remember
he was like, he looked like a hippie.
He looked like a hippie. They all look like hippies.
Yeah.
So he does drop us back off at our little motel. And we're like, okay, how the heck are we going to get back to Warm Springs?
Random ass spot.
Well, it's not random. It's in the center of Warm Springs, but we want to get there super early the next morning because we want to beat the heat.
That was the thing too, is because I remember saying like, we still have 30 plus miles to get to Frog Lake Trailhead.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're like, we need to beat the heat. We can't keep doing what we're doing with this heat rash the way we're doing it. So yes, that means we need to like start at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah. We're like, who the heck is going to give us a ride at 4:00 in the morning?
3 o'clock, because we were going to start at 4 or 3:30. Yeah.
Who would pick us up at 3? And we're like, oh, what about our Uber driver / masseuse?
And so Wesley texts him and he's like, this is crazy, yo. But
he's like, this is crazy, but I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this.
Yes. And we're like, we'll pay you whatever we need to pay you. We'll pay you separately. Like, it doesn't have to be an Uber transaction. We'll just Venmo you.
Yeah. And he did. He came and picked us up at 3:00 from Madras and drove us all the way to Warm Springs, dropped us back off. Same spot we were picked up at.
And we started in the dark, y'all.
We started in the dark.
We had our headlamps and people were driving fast.
Yeah, and they were very obvious.
I was nervous.
Well, they were obviously like drunk individuals walking around in the dark too.
Talking out loud and throwing their glass.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's go fast.
Like, let's get out of the Warm Springs proper and get back into the middle of nowhere highway.
Yes. But also I was nervous about drunk drivers. Like I was actually very nervous in that morning time about people coming out of the casino drinking and driving. And so it was being very, very high alert for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like 3:30 or 4 o'clock when we started. And then we were hiking for hours before the sun came up.
It was kind of nice.
It was so nice, actually.
We had a cotton candy sunrise.
Oh, that sunrise was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was.
And one of my other favorite parts of our walk, our highway walk, was the sunrise. And it was the open plain field. And we started singing Home on the Range. You remember that open plain field?
I do.
For like miles and miles.
Home on the range where the deer and
the antelope play.
Hey, that's a song by Nick Offerman. It's a book by Nick Offerman.
It is. I was like, he didn't write that song.
Not a song, that's a book. So big day leaving Warm Springs. We did 30 miles this day, y'all. 30 miles of road walking.
Oh.
And we still didn't even get to our destination.
No, we still had 2 or 3 miles, I think.
Yeah, a couple
Something
more
like
miles. And what I'll describe to you is this extremely painful road walk. And we had at least 2 different parties pull over and offer us water or see if we needed anything.
Yes.
One of them was a Trail Angel. And I don't know if you remember this, but you remember when we were in the town of Sisters and we talked about having an issue with their Nemo dagger, like the Jacob's foot piece, and the sweet woman who owned this gear shop gave us one of her Jacob's feet from one of her tents and got trolled by her Nemo rep. Shame on you, Nemo rep. Well, her son was driving the same route and she had let him know that we were going to be on this road. And so he had these like sparkling canned waters.
Yes,
and
he did.
He saw us and he pulled over on the side of the road and he gave us some.
Yes, it was very, very sweet.
It's amazing how the trail provides
the connection,
in these ways, right? Just
the interconnectedness. We got more trail magic on our road walk than we got the entire trail.
It's the law of odds, right? Mm-hmm. If we have hundreds of people driving by us daily, odds are we're going to get more help
Good
offered.
Point.
Yeah.
And we're matching. We have cute little matching shirts and matching shorts. And so,
which is the only reason we got a hitch later in this week. Lord of mercy.
Yeah.
So yeah, super painful day. Just a 30-mile slog on asphalt. As we were getting towards the end of this sloggy day,
it finally turned trees.
We finally hit trees. We stop and take a break because we had communicated with this old gal who was hoarding our gear for us, where she could stop and drop off that gear. It took a while for her to get to where we had suggested, but she did. And she actually dropped off hikers before she gave us our stuff. So it set us back another half hour, which kind of sucked. But she did stop. She gave us our stuff. So we had our gear, and then we hiked a little bit further, and we hit that the whatever meridian line.
Yes.
What was it?
The 45th parallel, halfway between the equator and the North Pole.
There we go. So yes, we got our gear from this gal. She dropped it off with us. We packed our bags, continued on a few more miles, and saw this van that had broken down. It was this guy shuttling hikers. The vehicle broke down, which sucks.
And it's just a bunch of hikers, and we're like 10 miles out of Frog Lake, or 8 miles out. We're not that far out.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close, which sucks because they were pretty close.
They were close.
But yeah, we stopped talking to him. This guy was asking us if we could, if we had any cell service or anything, so we could call for help. And he ended up getting service from someone, so we continued on. Which, yeah, it sucks that it happened, but we had to get to a spot where we thought we could easily make big miles the next day. So we ended up pulling over on this little tiny shoulder off of the highway. There wasn't really a good spot to pull over because it was just so windy. But we pulled over here. We tried our hitch luck. Within about 15 minutes, we got someone to pull over. And it was a Sprinter van. The Sprinter van had a driver and 2 hikers in the back. The driver was the significant other to the female hiker in the back. But the male hiker in the back was also kind of with the female hiker in the back.
We were very confused.
We were very confused by this whole dynamic.
Because the guy and the girl in the back were like cuddling each other.
Cuddling back there,
and then Wesley's sitting up front. I'm hanging out with them, talking to them, because finding out they're hiking the PCT.
Yeah.
So I think they're a couple.
Yeah.
And then Wesley's in the front with the dude that's driving the van.
And he's like, yeah, that's my partner back there. Motioning to the gal. And I'm like, really? I didn't
really?
say that, but
maybe they have an open relationship. I don't know.
Maybe that's becoming more popular. So.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So they were taking us to government camp. Government camp is like this little, is it a ski area?
It's a little ski town because of Timberline being right there too.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So it's like a little ski town, and we were just getting a resupply. We were going to try to get back on trail that night and just camp somewhere right there, or try to camp at the Frog Lake campground or something.
Yes,
that was the point. So we go to resupply,
super expensive resupply,
and everybody's staring at us.
They're all staring at us for some weird reason, like you've never seen a thru hiker here before.
Yeah, and there were no thru hikers in there,
which is shocking.
It was a bunch of white people with really nice clothes, they looked like Breckenridge tourists.
They did. And we're like, whatever, well, we'll just get our food. We went to a brewery and got a burger and a beer, and we were probably there too long, because by the time we left, the sun was starting to set, and we had absolutely zero luck getting a hitch from all these overly cautious white drivers. They wouldn't even look at us in the face. They just kept driving by us, and you can't not see us because we're standing there in bright orange Jolly Gear shirts.
And I think it was 30 or 45 minutes. It was a long time, and it's starting to go down. I was pissed.
You were livid.
I was pissed. I was like, this has never happened to us yet on the trail. And we've been doing this for 5 months now. And we're cute. We got matching shirts. We're not going to stab you.
No.
Come on, y'all. And so no one cared. No one cared.
No one cared for us in the end.
No one cared for us. So
we resigned and found
an inn that was actually really bougie.
It was called the Huckleberry.
It was very cute. And here's the thing about this whole world of government camp is everything's expensive there.
Yes.
So we were being so good and so frugal.
And what sucked is that the Huckleberry Inn didn't even have AC in the rooms. I know, so freaking hot.
It was really hot, but it was a cute little bedroom.
It was cute, but like, don't you know we're in the midst of climate change and stuff's getting hotter?
Yeah, you need to put AC
you
in there.
You need to put some ACs up on her. Up on her.
We did think about camping out there, but I said I think I feel weird about it because everybody here seems so bougie that I feel like a cop would absolutely
They'd report us. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, shoot, I've gotten reported here in Breckenridge for pulling over on the side of the road because I couldn't access a trailhead before.
People get too bougie.
And they have too much free time is what it is.
And it's typically white people from what I've learned.
Typically. Yeah. Yeah.
But we did camp. We stayed in this really nice lodge.
We got a shower. We took care of our heat rash.
I think it was like $200 for that place too.
That sounds right.
And then we fell asleep.
Next day, so the Huckleberry Inn had like this diner thing attached to it, but they had these really huge like scones and other baked goods that they made there.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we seized the opportunity. We carpe the diem
and got some bakeries
and got some baked items and went right back to the same spot that we had tried to get a hitch from the day before. You know, the sun is up. Everybody can see that we're a cute matching white couple. Hopefully that will help our cause a little bit.
I got my pigtails in, y'all.
And still, it took a while, but this one lady, she had driven by us and said, "Sorry, I can't. I've got to do this." But for some reason, whatever she had to do and do, the time had changed on it. I guess she was meeting someone. So she was like, "I've got time now, and you seem like a sweet enough couple because you're both wearing matching like Hawaiian shirts." So you couldn't be that bad.
It's the first time I was ever so happy we were matching.
So she picked us up and she gave us a ride back to the middle of nowhere highway so that we could continue our footpath and hike up to the Frog Lake Trailhead.
And we did.
Very shortly after
we got there.
The Frog Lake the Frog Lake Trailhead, we saw it's so amazing how everything just comes full circle in this week. We saw the same hiker guy and girl from the Sprinter van.
That were cuddling in the back.
But
no boyfriend, no partner.
We saw those same two like a mile up the trail from the Frog Lake Trailhead.
And they're like cuddling.
They're like sitting on the side of the trail like 100 feet off. Like sitting there cuddling with like a cute little picnic thing barefoot so that they can recenter themselves.
That's what Oregon. She said. She was like, "I'm trying to recenter myself to Oregon."
Because they had kicked up from NorCal.
Because, yeah. And this is where, just to explain this part, remember we mentioned in a previous episode that a massive fire, which became the third largest fire that California's ever seen in NorCal. That's where Syed Valley is. It actually hit kind of that whole landscape. And so it hit the trail in that portion between Syed Valley to Ashland. So all of those hikers, imagine the bubble, because we were not in the bubble. We never hit the bubble.
Yeah.
We started at the beginning of March. We didn't even know what the bubble felt like. And then the bubble was in NorCal when that all happened.
Yep. And then fires happened. And then the bubble floats up to Oregon.
But again, Lion's Head closure is closed. So they can't do that. So a lot of them just decided to completely hitch from NorCal all the way up to Frog Lake Trailhead. So this is like 500 miles.
It's a big old hitch.
It's a big, big jump. And so imagine being 500 miles ahead in your body than most of these people now. Like, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
It's a hard mental space to be in because I feel like we went to war and they were at home is kind of how it felt, even though they had been hiking too. But they'd only been hiking. They hadn't even gotten to Oregon. Like that, it sucks. Like they didn't get to touch.
They'd done over 1,000 miles for sure, which is no laughing matter.
No. I know. Yes. But to be on this trail and to skip 500 miles, I'm not saying that it was intentional. I'm saying that sucked for them.
Yeah.
Because they were forced into this place.
Yeah.
But what was hard is that we were now the only people that became the exception, not the rule of the entire trail from this point forward. Like we couldn't find our trail family. Like they were up ahead of us.
You mean our tramily?
Yes, but they were ahead of us, so we weren't seeing any of them. So we're kind of on our own with a continuous footpath at this point. And everyone else that we're talking to has had to break and skip.
Yeah.
which sucks.
Yeah.
So we didn't really tell anyone.
We didn't talk about it.
We were just like, oh man, that sucks for you.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Unless someone asked. If someone asked,
then we would tell them.
Then we would say, yeah, we haven't broken our footpath yet.
Yeah. We were pretty proud of that, y'all.
I mean, yeah.
As you should be.
As you should be, especially when we had to do that road walk.
That road walk. But yes, we're up here in the bubble with all these other people
so
that we don't know.
So we hit the bubble. Yes, this is where I'm going with that. We hit the bubble.
We hit the bubble. We saw the couple, and past that, the couple was like the gateway to the bubble, it felt like.
And it was dramatic.
Yes.
It was like, we're trying to find a place to camp. How many miles did we do this day? We did 21.
Yeah, about 21.
No, sorry, 20.5.
I mean, to be honest, all I remember about this day is the hitch that we got, getting to Frog Lake Trailhead, and then camping. We camped with a bunch of other people who had taken campsites, which you do what you do. If you get there first, it's your campsite. But we wanted to camp in that area, and so we literally just like cleared a bunch of debris off of the ground and just made a little spot to pitch our tent. We didn't rip up any vegetation. We adhered as best we could to leave no trace policy.
What's also difficult about this time frame is that a lot of these people are all people that have been hiking together for a long time. And they were from NorCal and they'd skipped up, or they were, in Southern Oregon and then skipped up. And so they all knew each other. So when we came into this picture, it was like, who the fuck are you guys? And we're looking at them like, who the fuck are you guys? Like, yeah. we're the OGs of this trail, dude. Like, right. And they'd kind of look at us like they wouldn't make room for us in these camp spots. And it was kind of frustrating. Like, I was feeling a lot of tension of this frustration of like, why are you guys staring at us like, who the fuck are you? Because we've been on this trail longer than you have at this point. But it felt like this judgment of like, where did you guys come from?
That's funny because I don't remember that. But maybe I was just too tired and I was just looking for a spot that was available.
Because we were looking in all the little spots and like there'd be a little bit of a patch where someone could move their tent over to make room for us, but no one would.
Yeah.
And they saw us looking and no one offered, because they didn't know us. We were new to their world.
What I remember is that they all had like an energy of sadness about them.
Maybe that's what I was picking up too.
I think that.
Is that of like, and we did start to feel that from this point forward because all of these people were not able to complete their through hike fully. Mm-hmm. They'd have to go back and do that if they wanted to. And you're right. There was an oppression, a sadness in the air. But I just felt like they had these weird judgment daggers on us. Like, who are you guys? Like, we've never seen you before.
That's because we got the hot bods, right?
We looked so good at this point.
We looked good at this point.
This is like the best I've ever looked in my entire life.
We looked so good at this point. It's true. All I remember wrapping up the day is, like I said, just making a campsite for ourselves and pitching. We were super stoked because the next day we would get to the famous Timberline Lodge.
Super exciting.
Super exciting because that is where they have this like really renowned breakfast buffet that all the hikers want to get to because it's a bougie freaking buffet in this epic lodge.
Oh, it's so good.
Timberline Lodge is what The Shining is.
It's where they filmed the interior of The Shining.
The exterior. They got a lot of aerial shots of the outside for the beginning of The Shining.
For the hotel.
For the hotel, yeah.
Okay, because it's supposed to be filmed there.
It's supposed to be filmed there, but it was actually filmed in Colorado. But they did have the axe from The Shining at Timberline Lodge. You just got to go and ask to see it.
It's called Johnny's. Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny. Yep. Do you remember what the buffet had?
Oh my God. I don't remember it all. All I remember, do you remember these little shakes they had, like acai shakes?
The best thing smoothies? Was the fruit smoothies they kept making.
They were so good.
And as soon as they would bring a batch out, the hikers would swarm it and take it.
Yes. And so you had to be like on it.
Yeah, you did.
You had to be watching and waiting.
But we're talking like all the breakfast meats, pancakes, waffles. And this is high-end stuff. This is not a freaking Denny's buffet.
No. This is very nice, classy. This is like a very ritzy hotel for skiing and snowboarding. This is what it's known for. And their breakfast is just the best. I mean, it's like a European breakfast.
The best. Is this Mount Adams that we're hiking by?
I thought it was Mount Hood because Mount Hood is in Oregon.
It's Hood.
Because Adams is in Washington.
Yes.
And Mount Hood is gorgeous. We have pictures of it too that we'll post. You got your chicken leg shorts. Did you get them at Timberline, babe?
Yeah, I got my second pair of chicken leg shorts. Yeah, I got them here at Timberline Lodge, and then I put them on, and I basically mooned a girl.
He was bending over.
I was bending over to do something with my pack, and there was
and his ass is just out fully,
like
and
white,
she's like
in all its glory.
She's like, she turns away, and her and I make eye contact, and I went, I'm so sorry.
I'm like, you don't like what you see?
What was her name? Because we continued to know her.
So she is part of U-Turn's family.
Yes, Tramley.
I don't remember her name.
I'm sorry.
U-Turn is a very important figure that we're going to mention in this day coming up.
There are two people we met this day that become a part of our story.
So really cool time at Timberline Lodge. We got to see the acts. We had an awesome breakfast. I got my shorts. We leave, and as you're leaving, it's a pretty cruisy couple miles, and then you have a really big downhill. Well, just before the downhill, there's a great outlook, and at the outlook, we met this girl. Her name was Pedicure. That was her trail name. I don't remember her real life name. But anyways, she was a nurse?
She was an emergency. Like she was a crisis nurse.
Yeah.
Like she'd go in the helicopters.
Like helicopter nurse, yeah.
Yeah, she was like a search and rescue nurse.
So pretty boss.
She did some boss shit.
She had.
Yeah.
So we talked to her. We hiked with her.
She was a very kind woman.
We went to Ramona Falls with her. Do you remember Ramona Falls? Like the cascading waterfall that split in 100 different directions.
I do remember that. I took videos of that.
Yes. That was a cool spot. And that was kind of a highlight of the day.
Yeah.
Pedicure's pace was a little bit slower than ours. So we did lose her a few times. But we tried to kind of hang out with her for this day. Because she was good company.
She's just this sweet human that was in her, I think, 40s or 50s at this point. Late 40s, maybe early 50s. But
we'll just say
middle-aged.
Middle-aged. Number doesn't matter. She's middle-aged.
I think it matters.
What are we?
We are not middle-aged yet.
When will we be?
We'll be middle-aged in our 40s.
Okay.
Middle-aged. She was middle-aged, and she had gone through a divorce with her partner, and she decided to go and do this hike, and just was in she's just a very open, deep soul that you could really connect with on trail. And she was one of those we found that we could say the painful things to.
She received it.
She received it. She didn't brush it off and do like that toxic optimism kind of thing, like, or toxic positivity thing.
That is a real thing, y'all. Toxic positivity.
Yeah, she didn't do the toxic positivity thing or slough it or, brush it away. She would always kind of hold space for us and vice versa. We held space for her and her process too. So It was really nice to get to know her that day and get to hike with her. But then I remember we were getting close to the end of the day, and I feel like we're in our tip top shape at this point. Like we are in our tip top.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about camping at this one spot by the water, but I was like, we could still get more miles in because the sun's not yet gone down.
And this is before like a pretty significant climb coming up.
Yeah, it's a significant climb for Oregon. Like it's one of the bigger climbs because now we're starting to get into Washington. So this is a bigger climb. And we're like, do we do it? Like it's late in the day. And then
you're like, let's just send it.
Let's just do it. And Pedicure goes, well, I've got these peach gummy the rings.
Yes.
Those things. She's like, do you want some? I was like, yes, I'll take them all. And I down like 10 peach gummy rings.
So she's like overflowing with sugar induced energy.
I'm trying to think of an animation character that like all of a sudden turns on and it's just gone.
Popeye.
It's like Popeye.
Popeye when he has the spinach.
Yeah. So that's me, but with peach rings. And I don't know, within 2 minutes, I all of a sudden take off up the mountain. This is the one and only time this ever happened on trail.
Yeah.
And I felt great. I was like, whoa, I feel so good. I even left Wesley. Like
she did leave me. She left me for good. Yeah, we're going up this climb and it's in the trees. We've passed probably 5, 6, 7 people. We were actually counting the number of hikers we were passing on this climb. It was a game. And so we were passing all these people, and there's this one guy. He's got like short curly hair. He's wearing a button-up shirt.
got a beard and a beard, like curly beard. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just got like a normal size pack, and he's going up the hill at a pretty quick pace. And Basecamp passes him. And I'm behind both of them whenever this happens. And I see him like look up from his like hiking stance. He's just looking to make sure he didn't trip. And he's like, did someone just pass me? And then I see him do a double take. And he's like, was that a girl? And he didn't say that, but I'm just imagining that's what he was thinking. And so I saw him like hit the turbo button, and he like starts trying to catch her. And he passed you.
And he passed me, and I was pissed.
And
I was
then
like, what the fuck?
He passed you. So then I catch up with you, and you're like, I'm going to pass
do you see
this
that guy? I'm going to pass him.
I'm going to pass him. And so we both like hit the turbo button as well, and we pass him. And he looked pissed.
He looked so mad. And I was just like, who the fuck is this guy that he thinks that, why is he so mad that we're passing him?
I don't even know, man. Okay, so we passed him. Just to go and clue y'all in, this guy's name is U-Turn. U-Turn plays a very big
role in the rest of this journey.
In the rest of our PCT.
Yeah.
Hike. So this guy is U-Turn. He's pretty pissed that we've passed him. We're two anonymous hikers in weird matching shirts. We finally get to the top of the climb. We find a cozy little spot.
It was such a wonderful campsite.
Tucked behind a tree and inside like these 4-foot tall shrubs, which is awesome. And so we went in there and we started to pitch, and this U-Turn guy hikes by and continues on a little bit further. And he makes eye contact with us, but no words were exchanged. He was probably still trying to figure out what had happened. I'm like, look, you give Basecamp enough cocaine sugar and she's good.
That's just what I have to do if we want to go fast, I guess. I mean, even Wesley couldn't keep up with me. So
I was like, holy shit.
I don't know what happened.
I was impressed.
It never happened the rest of the trail. So we go to sleep that night.
We were tired. We'd only done 21.7 miles, but like I said, big climbing. And almost 22 miles, 4,600 feet.
That's a lot because we haven't been doing a ton of climbing up to that point.
But yeah, this brings us to our last day of week 22. And it's kind of a great day to end this week on because we get to the Washington border.
It's an exciting day.
It's a really big day. So it's kind of a big deal whenever you get to Cascade Locks.
Because it feels like you're going to finish at this point.
Yeah, for no-bowers. I don't know how it feels for so-bowers. Probably not as big of a deal.
Not as exciting.
You hit a new state, but you've only done like 500 miles.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got an early start as we typically do. We met up with Pedicure at some point, and then we met this other guy. His name was...
We met Godfather the day before, though.
Was it the day before?
We did, because we ran into him as we were getting up the finish of the climb, and he had a staff, and he wanted to talk to us, and I was like, I just want to go.
A staff?
He had a staff. I was like, who is this guy? And he had like this crazy mad scientist hair. And he really wanted to talk to us. Because we I
remember this
yes.
now. Oh my God.
And I didn't want to talk. I wanted to go.
Just like I just wanted to climb.
I was like, I have sugar in my system and I need to go. And he like really wanted to talk to us. And I was just like, okay, but we'll have a good day. Bye. Like I was just trying. Poor Godfather.
Yeah.
and then we run into him the next day with Pedicure.
As we're all trying to get to Cascade Locks. So we have about 26 and a half-ish miles to get to Cascade Locks.
They decided they wanted to go with us because we had a faster pace. And so Godfather and Pedicure were both like, can we just kind of ride your coattails?
Yeah. And we'd also decided to take the Eagle Creek split. So this is one of the few...
Best decision.
...detours that we did on the PCT. Not to shave miles. I don't know if it was more or less miles or the same. But we did it because this is like a really iconic spot on trail. You go through the Tunnel Falls, and then you have Twister Falls right next to it. So this is like a really cool, iconic spot. But you got to go through some sketchy junk to get there. I remember going through, and by this point, my Ultras had zero tread. They were almost smooth on the bottom. I remember going through like this burn zone with a lot of steep downhills, and I just kept busting my ass. I just kept falling over and over and over. And Godfather would be like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just got some really garbage shoes on right now, man.
That's where Deuces sprained his ankle.
That same area?
It was that same area, yeah.
Wow. So
that's what kind of put
mindful.
him. Yeah. That area is beautiful, but there's definitely a lot of little potholes and little like rock twists and stuff that can kind of mess up your ankles.
It was a cool spot despite the really sketchy terrain because, like I said, it was a burn, but it was an old burn. So you started to see all this really like lush green regrowth in the area, which I love seeing that, the succession of nature.
It was really cool. I mean, there's this really cool tunnel at the very end of the hike before you kind of get down into the parking lot. There's this tunnel where the waterfall goes over and you go into the tunnel. It's just a very cool, iconic spot.
You'll see plenty of videos on social media for this spot, which is why we took it.
Yeah, social media influencers do this one a lot.
Yeah, but you can easily get to it from Cascade Locks.
Oh, yeah. It's very easily accessible and walkable for sure.
So that was an iconic moment of the day. But after that, we're like, we do really just want to be in town. Like, we're tired, we're hot. Beer is calling us, and a burger. For some reason, burgers just always hit
burgers
right in
and
town.
Beers, always.
Yeah, I don't crave pizza on trails. I crave burgers.
Yeah, me too. The meat.
Yeah.
I think it's the meat, the carbs, the pickles, the salt. It just hits right.
So we hiked into Cascade Locks with Pedicure and Godfather, not before stopping to eat handfuls and handfuls of blackberries that were growing wild on the side of the paths.
That's right.
Yeah, it was like peak blackberry season out there. It was awesome.
But then Pedicure had a friend that was coming to pick her up at the parking lot.
Yes.
And then Godfather and us continued on to the iconic bridge.
Bridge of the Gods.
The Bridge of the Gods.
The Gods.
But you have to walk like a mile and a half more, or 2 miles just to get there from the parking lot, I think.
Yeah.
It's on like a bike path. But
yes.
I was ready to be there. I was like, oh.
I know, it was a slog once we had gotten to the parking lot.
Yeah, because it's, mentally, you're just like, I just want to be there at this point.
Yeah.
I remember my feet hurt that day. I think probably from all the rocky, weird terrain.
That would make sense. 2,200 miles in almost. Your feet hurt?
No, my feet hurt this day. Like really hurt.
It was really rough terrain.
We did 26.56 this day, which feels significant.
A little bit over 2,000 feet of climbing, so nothing crazy. Like I said, it was a lot of downhill. I mean, Cascade Locks is on the Columbia River, which is approaching sea level. Wait, is it sea level? It's 151 feet above sea level.
Oh, it's 151 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably why there's so much hiking in Washington, because you got to get back out of sea level.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Moving forward in the story, we run into Azul. So we knew Azul was there because we have this Instagram group chat that we have going, and Azul was in Cascade Locks. So she decided to wait for us instead of going out the day we got in. She took one more zero.
Yeah.
So that she could see us. We met up with her, had a beer, and Tumbleweed ended up being there as well, which was so fun.
That guy. So Tumbleweed was already there, and he had gotten commissioned to...
He was working.
Yeah, he was laying drywall.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, man, I get free beer and cash.
He was laying drywall for one of the breweries in town.
Yeah. So we saw him as well. And so Azul, us, and Tumbleweed all hung out for dinner that night. It was like a pizza place. We had pizza.
Yeah, and we went into, like, they had a little beer garden out back, and we went out there.
Just drank and hung out.
Had way too many beers.
And we just all really caught up on our hikes together. It was really lovely.
I know, because we hadn't really seen Azul for a while. We've seen Tumbleweed kind of ish recently. And so it was nice to have some quiet time and reconnect with them. Yeah, we were definitely all drunk at the end of that night.
You more so than me.
Me and Tumbleweed.
You and Tumbleweed were putting them down.
Let me tell you. When in Rome.
It was funny though. But yeah, we go back to Azul's hotel room and she's like, why don't you guys all just crash here tonight? And so we were like, okay. And so we did. And Wesley slept on the floor and I slept in the bed with Azul.
Yes. And I don't even know what Tumbleweed did.
He slept on the chair.
But I remember I got a picture of Tumbleweed sitting in the chair, drunk, eating Pop-Tarts.
Yes. And I think either he ended up sleeping in the chair or he eventually slept on the floor. But
by the time we woke up the next morning, I mean, he was gone.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Military. He's out.
Impressive.
So impressive. And Wesley was struggling. You were struggling.
I was hungover and I missed getting to meet my, at that time, through hiking hero.
Quadzilla.
And we'll leave you there. That's the end of our week 22 on the PCT. We've made it to the Oregon-Washington border. So that leaves us just 4 more weeks to get through the state of Washington.
And we ended up doing 162.37 miles in 7 days?
In 7 days. That's a lot of miles. Yeah, we did over 13,000 feet in
the heat. 13,000 feet of gain.
That's a lot of gain.
Okay, let's talk environmental corner.
So environmental corner. Today will be a shorter environmental corner than last. Was it last time? The last environmental corner we were talking about domoic acid over on the Pacific coast, and the ocean is affecting dolphins and sea lions and things like that. So go back and check that environmental corner. That was going to be from episode 63, I believe.
That's very sad.
I know, it's very sad. But today is going to be a little bit lighter. We're going to talk a little bit more surface level, just about information. So there is this concept called ground truthing, and my search engine keeps fucking up with me.
I had this idea when we were hiking because since Wesley is now boots on the ground field biologist, he is researching and observing and gathering a lot of data and information that no one else is. And so I told him, I said, what if we talked about that? Because you have information now. You have knowledge and experience that a lot of people don't know how to tap into.
So yeah, so what she's talking about is basically ground truthing. And I want to read you the definition of what it is, kind of how you can do your own ground truthing or base what you believe and what you use for your own thought processes based on ground truth information, and how to avoid a lot of the false misinformation that's floating around today, especially with social media. So ground truth is information that is provided by direct observation as opposed to information provided by inference. So you've witnessed it, you've observed it, you've noted it, studied it, etc., and then you use that information to better understand concepts, pretty much.
What does inference mean?
If this, then this has to be right.
It's all hypothesis.
Kind of, yes. More hypothetical and less tested or observed. And we see a lot of this these days.
Yeah, we do.
And so the reason I think that ground truthing is important is because, for example, my capstone project, I picked up a lot of trash. I looked at a lot of trail attributes, and I compared all these things to get like real life information based on what I found out on trails. You can say, oh yeah, trails are really dirty. And if I had to guess, I would guess that the most trash you're going to find is at the trailheads, or like really close to the trailheads. Sure, you're inferring based on what you think is going to be the condition of trash on these trails, but it hasn't been ground truth. Like you haven't gone out and actually seen it.
Or picked it up and documented it.
Picked it up and documented it, and then made correlations based on that documented data. So that's really what ground truthing is. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because there is a lot of misinformation floating around. There's a lot of information being shared based on people's opinions or their political ideologies or their pocketbook preferences. And I really just wanted to share the concept of ground truthing with you to let you know that you can be a better informed version of yourself if you just go to the source of where this information came from. So say we're talking about the concept of climate change. Well, you hear a Republican or someone say, oh, well, climate change isn't real. Climate change is just a hoax made up by the extreme left. And it's a hoax to get more funding for animal conservation or X, Y, and Z. And, the sea levels aren't going to rise because it's just displacement. Well, that's completely also not true, but beside the point. But so you hear these things stated that sound like facts from people, but this is things that people are saying based on maybe the sources that they use, but a lot of times it seems more like it's based on their opinion and what they want to believe for whatever reason, X, Y, and Z. So what I'm challenging you to do is to try and find more base sources. So sources that have studied this stuff or have done their own research or done review articles reviewing other research. So this ground truth research and all this data is there for it's there. It's usually free access. All you have to do is just go online and look up this information for yourself. And you might think, well, these scientific articles and these research papers, these are too like in depth and lengthy, and the verbiage is above like my common level of understanding. Well, a lot of them can get really verbose and get really weedy in the data. But typically, whenever you go and you find these research articles, they have this thing at the very beginning called the abstract. And the abstract is typically 500 words or less, and it summarizes the entire paper, however long that paper might be it 5 pages or a 30-page paper. And it takes all the information in that however long paper and summarizes it for you so that you can get the main bullets from what the paper is. So it'll touch on like what the paper is trying to find, what the paper found, and what the paper has basically found to be the conclusions from the study that they performed or from the review of the studies that they looked at. You can go and find the stuff super easy. Most of it's free. Some of it is a little bit paywalled, but I definitely would highly recommend looking up this information for yourself, especially if it's a topic that you're really interested in. These research papers are typically going to be on science-related stuff, but you can find them on non-science-related topics. And if we're talking a little bit more on the subject of politics, I mean, I would probably suggest not using biased sources and look more to non-biased gray sources. So, you know, Marie was in Singapore here recently, and she said that based on what she knows about current events here in America, the USA, not America. I don't like to call it America.
Because it's not America.
It's not America. It's a part of America. So based on current events here in the USA, what she was seeing on the Singaporean news felt a lot more neutral, right?
Yeah. They're just observing what's happening here, but they're observing because it's a really big deal for the economy for them and for everyone else. And so, you know, everyone's kind of all eyes on the US right now.
All eyes on me.
Yeah, but they're actually just documenting what's happening. They're just saying, here's what's happening.
Yeah. So try and find more unbiased news sources. I feel like all news is going to have some level of bias based on what the country's interests are. But
I mean, we have a bias.
We have a bias as well.
We want to protect the environment.
Yeah. So as unbiased as possible is what I'm trying to emphasize here. And yeah, I have found that, I guess for me, BBC tends to be a pretty reputable source of information.
Yeah, I think so.
And so this is like if you're trying to find info on something that is non-science related, it isn't going to have a peer-reviewed paper for you to read an abstract on.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of all of this is saying to do the research yourself before you just take something for what it is, for what someone has said it is, on some social media or some news source.
TikTok or Instagram.
Y'all, Instagram, TikTok, social media, these are not reputable sources of information. Yeah, I mean, sure, I'll go on there and I'll be like, oh, well, this looks like a fun little thing to repost in our story. But more often than not, I'm going to look at what that thing I'm reposting says and make sure it's an actual thing that's happened, or
where is it coming from,
or a truth or a fact. And I'm not just going to stick it out there willy-nilly and spread misinformation that way. I think that is a huge issue in our country. Yeah, I think that we can all kind of play a part in preventing that by doing a little bit of extra legroom for ourselves. And if you don't have the time to fact check something or to look at the background and make sure that the information is valid, then don't post it, honestly. I mean, does it really need to be shared if you don't even know if it's right, what you're posting yourself?
Or don't talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, or just don't talk about it. But there's a lot of great information out there. The beauty of technology is that we have access to so much information, but it's also the detriment to our societies that we have so much access to information. And a lot of it is just, it hasn't been ground truth. It's not valid.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you are observing or learning as you've been doing the field biology? What are you observing and learning?
The biggest thing that I am observing is, okay, so say you're looking at climate change and you go and look at this paper, and then you're like, oh, well, this paper was done by 10 different researchers. Well, that's just 10 people and their opinions on a subject. Well, what I will tell you is that, yes, that paper is done by those 10 authors, but a lot more time and energy and effort went into that paper and the research for that paper than you can imagine. I'm spending days and days and days looking at raptors or putting out bat monitors or mapping weeds in parks. Like this is full on weeks, 40 plus hour weeks here, just doing what some people might think kind of trivial work with like no end goal here. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into the work behind the papers that you see and the information that you see on like reputable websites. And when I say that, I'm going to say like CPW or the Forest Service or stuff like that. So it's not just willy-nilly information. There's a lot of people spending a lot of times and a lot of years of their lives putting towards studying these particular subjects. And I mean, they're subject matter specialists is what they are. They're experts in these subject matters. So I think that you should not take someone's opinion on TikTok over someone who's been studying climate change for their entire life.
Do you think that's why it's so frustrating when we hear these comments like, oh, they're just blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel like we're in this season of life where, and I grew up hearing it a lot too, like when Al Gore came out with his video about climate change and global warming, and global warming became a trigger word. Like, yeah, people were like, oh, global warming, and they just kind of wave it off. Mm-hmm. And it became this weird word where no one wanted to say it anymore. No one wanted to actually think that this could be a real thing. Yeah. And I would imagine that Al Gore probably brought research scientists and people from the ground up that had been studying this and working on this stuff to come into a documentary that he was interviewing people for then other people on other sides of the spectrum going, oh, all of that's bogus. All of that's stupid. Like, does that feel frustrating then that all this work and this time, this energy that you're putting in on the ground, observing and seeing and documenting, for someone to just kind of look at what you're doing and go, oh, it's all stupid anyway. It's all going to burn up.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't even know what we're trying to do here. You don't see the end goal. You probably just think it's some extremist ideology that we're trying to get funding and push our beliefs on someone. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Huh?
I guess we all do it. Yeah. It's the human way.
Well, I'm talking more religious ideologies.
I know.
But yeah, it's really frustrating whenever you've got these, I mean, you have generations and generations of people studying climate change, and whether you choose to believe it or not, they've put their entire lives into studying this information.
And there's a reason.
They know a hell of a lot more than you do, or even than I do. And I think that we should learn from what these people have discovered and what they are predicting and what they say we can do to try and make things better in this particular scenario. I mean, whether you believe climate change and global warming is real or not, I mean, it's getting hotter. Water is becoming less available.
Climate change is erratic weather is happening.
Erratic weather events are happening. Like, it's here. You can believe it or not, but you're going to be experiencing it in your lifetime. In historical record, we have had several warming and cooling events throughout history, but this is by far the most rapid that we've ever had. Mm. And it's because of anthropogenic, influence.
How is what you're doing helping to give the understanding of climate change, like the boots on the ground that you're like observing with raptors and bat caves and the bat monitoring? Like, how does that then play a part in climate change?
I don't think that what I'm doing plays a direct role in climate change, but I think it makes me appreciate the ground truthing, the legwork that's gone into all the studies for climate change. I mean, because I'm out here, I'm looking at weeds. They're invasive species that we've brought over for one reason or another. I'm looking to see what bat species are in our parks, and I'm looking to see what raptors are out there. Climate change affects all these things, sure, but I'm not really looking at climate change directly. I'm looking at the basic for scientific studies. Like, this is the basis for it. A lot of legwork, a lot of information, a lot of long days on computers and out in the field collecting data. And that has to mean something, because we're out here actually giving a shit and trying to make positive change, be it with one species, be it by getting weeds out of a park, or be it on a much larger global scale. And it's really frustrating to see all the garbage misinformation from people calling us extremists.
Or environmentalists that just want to save the trees or whatever.
Yeah, you should want to save the trees too, because the trees are what's keeping us alive. Without the trees, we would not have clean air to breathe.
And that's what scares me about this public land sell-off.
Yeah.
Because that's going to bring in a lot of mining and timber and logging and so much shit.
What is it, 250 million?
250 million acres of land.
That's crazy to me.
And 2 million of that is the National Forest land and BLM.
And it's frustrating because it was removed from the bill before it passed the House, and now that it's in the Senate, it's back in.
Fuckers. Yeah, it feels pretty mean, but man, oh man, I really hope that the senators listen to the people, because there's a lot of people that are pissed about that one.
Oh yeah, even though they're managed by federal agencies, it's our land to go and appreciate. The fact that we took it from the natives is a different topic altogether, but it should be the land for the people to enjoy, not for private industries to go and
build resorts and build big buildings.
More housing, resorts, plunder for resources, that kind of thing. I mean, what we've got is what we've got. It'll grow back after we're gone, but, we're told to be stewards of the planet. If you're a believer, if you're an atheist, whatever, the Bible says that we're supposed to be stewards of the planet. And if you're only cherry picking verses for your own agenda, I don't think that that's very, very Jesus of you.
Very Jesus of you.
Yeah. So be a good person. Take care of the planet while you can. Do your own research and stay informed about subjects.
And if you ever have any questions for us, actually, on this topic, because Wesley is, very well versed in this topic now, or we'll find an answer or consult maybe some of his colleagues or whatever. But if you ever have any questions about environmental whatever, then reach out to us. We'd love to talk more and do deep dives more into the environment stuff. I'm always fascinated. I ask Wesley a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. I know I was fumbling over words a bit. I guess I'm just I struggle with the words to say for something that feels so close to home sometimes.
I know. It's a very deep place.
Yeah.
I just want to go through hike before it's all gone.
I know.
Honestly, it makes the CDT feel more prevalent or like pressing.
It does, doesn't it?
Like, I almost wish we'd done it this year, but then I was like,
yeah,
we got so much favor and job favor, but now I'm like, maybe we really need to put the CDT on the docket for next year, because if this shit goes through, we will never have the CDT again.
Yeah,
it will never be the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, go do your through hikes, guys.
Go do your through hikes.
If you live in another country, get them in the next year or so if you can here in the U.S., because we may not have them again, except for the AT. That's the only one that looks like it's staying around.
It'll stay around for a little bit longer, and the Florida Trail.
Yeah, and Florida Trail. But the AZT, the PCT, and the CDT are about to completely change.
Support all the goodness that is the outdoor world.
Please. If you clearly if you listen to this podcast, it's because you love the outdoors.
And if you just listened to what we talked about and you were offended, don't listen to the podcast. Honestly. It's obviously not for you. We are very opinionated, and if you feel so strongly against what we have to discuss, that's okay. That's your own opinion, but you don't have to listen.
And you also can write us and share why you feel the way you do.
Yeah.
We're very open to listening. We're not going to be mad at someone for having a different opinion. I mean, we both grew up in the Deep South in Christian evangelicalism. Like, I understand that side of the story. I understand what people are saying and why.
Like, if you wrote us, we would probably read your response and not even bash you. We would just read it and share it, because we love to share whenever people reach out.
Yeah, I'm curious what you have to say. If you get offended, why? Why would you be offended by what we're saying?
Yes. But you know what's not offensive? Listening to the Fire Once Lost soundtracks.
Good transition, man.
I know. The Fire Once Lost, thank you so much for providing us with our intro and our outro music.
Thank you. And if you'd like to comment, question, leave us a response, you can email us at yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com and or DM us, like and subscribe to our podcast. We would love that.
Yes.
Also, follow our Instagram, Yeti Walks Into Basecamp. Also, thank you so much to our editors. We so appreciate you. Thank you, Charlotte, for this episode that you're editing. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Yep, you're going to have a lot of edits.
Sorry. But yeah, we thank you so much. And thank you everybody for listening. We would not do this without you.
Honestly, we would not.
No, we'd be done by this point.
We would be. And whenever we see you out in the field, you'll be out there doing your ground truthing. You'll be studying some little invertebrate, some insect, or maybe even some large mammals. You'll be taking some climate data, whatever tickles your fancy. If you're out there ground truthing, we'll see you out there. And we'll be like, thank you so much for ground truthing. But we really have to go and make some miles on our trail. So, happy trails.